Here is a DIY hot tip. These wires here are just for the aftermarket speaker lights. But you see what I have here? I have them looped around and on a string so I can always find them in case they fall behind the door. And that is exactly the hot take here. See how this connector is pretty short on its lead there that goes down, and it could fall behind the door there. Now if it falls behind the door, we have to take the whole door panel down in order to get it back out. So what we're going to do is on the truck side of the actual connector there, that's inside the door panel that can fall down in there, what we're going to do is we're going to lasso it with some twine and hang it off with a weight on the outside of the door there so it doesn't drop behind the door and we end up losing it and having to try to fish it out or take the door panel down. Because as you saw in the GMT800, even though the plastic door panel's down, you still have those tiny little holes in there where you have to try to somehow fish around to get your wire and wire harness back up to the surface. This way will save you that trouble by basically locking it in and keeping it down here where you can always pull it back up in case it drops in there. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, and I do apologize because the workspace I have here, it's going to be very hard for me to show you directly how I'm doing it. But it's pretty straightforward. You kind of give yourself a little bit of line here, enough to work with, and then you're gonna try to get it down to the base of the connector you're trying to secure. Try to get up and down around the base there as best you can. If you have fat fingers like I do, and you have a hard time sticking both hands in there, one to hold the wire up and then two to deal with the wire, or deal with your tying issue here, you can always just kind of pry it up with a screwdriver. And that way it kind of holds it in place for you until you can get your little string here situated down in there. See, like that? She stays right there in place. This is right here. Perfectly at hand, which is very, very nice and easy and nice and simple. So now let's go ahead and take our nuts off. Now this window here is a little bit harder to work in than that GMT800, but the overall outside and the bolt pattern will line up. It's just we have a smaller window, but the bolt pattern looks to be about the same. We'll go ahead and take these nuts off. I got my magnet at hand on a telescope. Very, very handy tool to have, again, at Harbor Freight. Get yourself one. This will save you a lot of damn headaches. And we'll go ahead and mount up our new antler, deer antler, or elk antler mirrors here and see how that looks. Let's go ahead and get on that.